had to hire our weaknesses. We had to hire people who has been in this business.
Quick problem solving.
Big corporations right now are based on faces.
Success After Dark, Season 2.
Welcome back to Success After Dark podcast. We have two special guests here today. We have the infamous Shelby. Is it Shelby Corporation? Is that the main company?
Shelby's Franchise Holding.
Shelby's Franchise Holding. Welcome to the podcast, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you guys for coming. So, funny story. One of my guys, Vlad. I don't know if you can see it.
Yep.
It's right here. We showed up at one of the locations. Which location was it?
He came to the Rexdale and Gibbling.
Rexdale Kibling, and he ordered, and then I think he saw you somewhere, and he messaged me. He's like, "Bro, I think you should reach out to this guy," and then I don't know what happened, and because I've seen you guys' content before. And I'm like, we should have them on the thing, and then we connected a little bit, and then by chance I saw you at we were going to a random restaurant, and I saw him. You were with your family as well, and that's kind of how everything. And then today, we kind of got to know each other. So I'm happy that you guys are here. Before we talk about Shelby's, I would love to talk about kind of a little bit of background stories, because I know Shelby's is how many locations right now?
We got 12, and we're opening another 8 by end of the
12 and 8. So you're talking, inshallah, 20 locations by the end of 2023.
Yeah.
And this is two Arab gentlemen. Where are you from? You're Palestinian.
Masri.
You're Egyptian. And you guys have been in the industry for 9 years, you said.
Correct. We opened 2014.
So 2013.
14.
I want to go back a little bit before Shelby's. So you guys, kind of tell me how you guys met.
So yeah, we met at college in 2010.
Yeah, you guys studying the same thing?
No. He was studying business, and I was studying construction project management.
Awesome.
And we were like good buddies. And once we graduated, I was doing my own thing. He was doing his own thing.
Yeah.
And then, I always wanted to be in business. So I started, at a food trailer. I found it on sale. Then he was looking for a job. I was like, hey, come help me. So he came in.
So why the restaurant business?
You know what? At that point, my mom was really famous at making really good shawarmas.
Yeah.
And in this country, unfortunately, they introduced the shawarma the
In
wrong
a very
way.
wrong way. I
right?
agree.
So we're like...
We just had Shelby Shawarma. It's probably one of the best shawarmas I've had in Canada.
Thank you.
For sure.
Thank you. So yeah, I decided to, with a little investment, I want to give it a try. We started actually the trailer where we sold like burgers, hot dogs, and shawarma was part of the menu.
Okay.
Because we don't know like if people actually gonna like it.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
like made different than what people are used to. But you know what? We were like in the corner of the city, and people used to drive like half an hour to try us. And at that time, like Facebook was at its peak, so it was really easy to get the word out there.
To get the word out,
so people would just like post.
And this is
"Come
in
try this
London,
place."
Ontario.
In London,
Ontario.
It was-
London is not that small. What's the population there?
Now it's around like 450, 500.
500.
But like when I was there, it was like 250.
Yeah.
It was like a
It's
small
definitely
village.
half, yeah.
Like it definitely changed when like the Syrian refugees came. Like a lot
Oh, yeah.
of the Syrians
Of course,
are
yeah.
in London right now.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we started there. A lot of people used to commute from everywhere. And 3 months later, I opened the first brick and mortar because it was September. It was hitting
And that wasn't
winter
called
time.
Shelby's. That was something else.
No, it was Shelby's.
It was called Shelby's,
So
okay, yeah.
I opened the first Shelby's brick and mortar. Then yesterday, I told him, "Hey, come help me. I need to manage the trailer.
Yeah.
Because I'm gonna step out."
So you had the trailer and the brick and mortar.
Yeah, within
Wow.
like 6 months, and then I opened the brick and mortar location. This one, we're like, okay, we're gonna focus now on Middle Eastern food. We're not gonna have any of that, the fish and chips, and we were just all over the place.
Yeah,
with the trailer.
yeah.
So we made it more Middle Eastern, and then we started the business. We were getting good support, but like we are competing versus a lot of big players in
names,
London.
yeah.
So we're like,
Especially
how
in
can
London.
London is very
Yeah.
competitive.
Yeah.
So it's more like student town. So
Yeah.
in summer it gets really dead, right? So we're like, how can we think outside the box, do something different to try to help the brand get more publicity basically. So that year, London was allowing food trucks to go on the street. So we're like, okay, that's a great idea. Let's invest in a food truck.
Yeah.
So this way, the food truck can advertise for the
physical
physical
location.
and the food trailer because we had at that time. So as soon as we got the food truck, we seen business was starting to boom. I was like, yeah, so we need to shut the food trailer. You need to come with me and focus on actually, the brick and mortar location. I'm gonna focus on the food truck. Just go around, try to get the name out there. We started participating in a lot of festivals. Me and him, we used to just get some garlic sauce and then fries and just walk around, just like get people to taste what the real garlic sauce tastes like, because a lot of the garlic sauce here is just
it's not real garlic sauce for sure.
So people were really liking it, and from that time, we started building like good customer base and loyalty. And in 2017 I decided to expand to another 2 locations in London.
Amazing.
And
so it started in 2014,
and then 3 years later,
2017.
yeah,
Okay.
3 years
3 other
later,
locations.
we got 3 locations. And really I was still learning because I never came from this background.
Yeah.
I was more like in the construction. It took me a lot to learn, and I'm still learning, of course. How to manage restaurants, how to oversee
of course
3
numbers,
restaurants, and hiring, and labor force here is so tough, and you can't really trust anybody. So it worked out well. And in 2019 we decided we want to franchise out this business. So I remember, like, because our food was really good and our concept was really good, we were getting people like every day asking for franchising. We're like, we're not ready. We don't even know what franchising means at that point, right? So we're like, no, we're not ready. And then these our first franchisees, they invested with us when I was like, hey, I'm not ready. I'm gonna test on you guys. And they're like, okay, sure, no problem. I'm like, okay.
Nice. Must be nice to have people like that.
Yeah. Like,
I'm gonna test with your money. I don't know if.
Yes, exactly. And then we signed the contract. Then COVID hit.
Oh,
in
wow.
2020. So we were supposed to open March 2020. It got delayed 2 months, and then we opened in May, and it went pretty well.
Yeah.
First 6 months in that location was pretty good. Then COVID really started affecting it because it was more like a residential area.
Yeah.
So we learned a lot from that location, and then a year later we're like, okay, we're ready to do our second expansion phase, where we opened 5 locations within like a year, not even like within 7 months, because of COVID. It was supposed to be spread out,
course.
but all construction delays, it was like crazy. Like we opened like all those locations within 7 months, and at that point we stepped out from London, so we went to St. Thomas. Stratford is about half an hour drive, and we really wanted to test. The reason why we picked small locations because we wanted to test our product and learn from smaller towns, because bigger towns can hurt you more because the word can get spread, and
of course,
and we went to those small towns, and people really liked the food, the concept, and then we decided, okay, I think we're ready right now to expand this brand to Toronto. And all I can tell you is we're whelmed with how much support we have in GTA, and it's all because of social media. Social media.
That's kind of our next topic, because this is where I wanna switch it to the shawarma man. You have an interesting way, in my opinion, to show the, how can we call this, the typical really the typical shawarma man, because always a shawarma man is always back home, is always yelling at somebody.
Correct.
There's always he's always yelling, and I don't know why is his actual name Abbas?
There's no Abbas.
Okay, but
Abbas is
back home. That's my point. Yeah.
He's the guy who always has your back. You can always rely on Abbas, but sometimes you have to, encourage him.
You know what's funny? I was watching it one day, and I was laughing so hard, and I think, being back home, it's always the chef telling people this is missing and this is missing, and because I worked in the restaurant industry for a little bit. But I want to switch gears before we go into social media. I want to hear, so you're Egyptian, but you were born here.
I'm born and raised here, and then all of a sudden I developed this accent.
So the accent, no, does your parents have accent?
My dad is inspiration partly for Mr. Shawarma Man, and also our Jordanian chef, Mr. Chef Auday. He's the other inspiration. Yes.
And do you is your family in the restaurant business?
No, but I have been in the restaurant business over 18 years. Since I
18
was
years.
14 years old,
Before
I worked McDonald's,
Shelby's.
and then I was schooled by the Greeks.
By the Greeks.
For 8 years, I worked with the Greeks. These guys showed me everything from A to Z, how to manage and own a restaurant. And that's the experience I brought on with Yazan. And from there, we were able to create this legendary brand.
I love it. Do you feel like, first of all, two things. Number one, do you feel like it is harder right now to compete in the marketplace, especially being a very niche, or I guess niche product, I would say. And if we're talking shawarma, there are not many names I would trust in Toronto. Like maybe you can count them on one hand. The people that are really big. And then I do agree, when I first came to Canada 8 years ago, the biggest thing is where can I find proper shawarma, like back home style, something that they don't add all the lettuce and the tomato and the I guess
that was the
and
inspiration
ketchup.
behind this brand.
I see
we
that.
were like the whole time the Canadians eating shawarma the wrong way. My friends, you try it this way. If you don't like it, we will make it your way. But 90% of the time, they try traditional way and they love it.
So, is there any plans for the Middle East?
Yes. We get a lot of applicants. We get a lot of interest from the
Yeah.
Middle East, and we are working on it.
I think the Middle East, you guys. Well, I mean, you're competing with the real big dogs, but I think still as a brand, it would because you still have the taste, and I feel like even food back home tastes a little bit different.
Yeah, I was back home recently, and I can tell you, I had 15 shawarmas. Probably 3 or 4 was good. I would put, not because I'm trying to be biased, but
Yeah,
I would put
yeah.
Shelby's top 3 or top 4 are the 15.
Wow.
I tried. So it's
Where
up there.
in Lebanon?
I
or
tried in
in-
Qatar, in Jordan, and in Palestine.
Huh. Interesting.
And yeah, I tried in Saudi
Yeah?
like last year, and it was okay. Again,
Saudi, I don't even remember.
Again, I lived here for 25 years. Like,
Yeah, I
the
get it. I
customer
understand.
behavior sometimes is different when
It's
you're
true.
like, when you live here, the
Yeah.
expectation is different. Like the spice level can be so
Yeah,
strong.
yeah,
You know
yeah.
what I mean? So for me, like I think not it's because
Interesting.
my brand,
Yeah.
but I think Shelby's has really good food. And coming to Toronto, pleasing Arabs is very hard.
It's very hard. I
And
do
right
agree.
now we are.
pleasing Arabs anywhere in the world, bro.
If you can't please Arabs, you can please anybody in the
You're
world.
literally
We also have many people who come from the Middle East who tell us, look, this is by far top 10 shawarma I've ever eaten in my life. And I eat lots of shawarma. And this is not 1 or 2 times. We've heard this
Multiple
comment
times.
100 times, over hundreds of times.
So you in the restaurant business 8 years. No, you said
18
years.
Yes.
How old are you guys?
I'm 34.
You're 34.
35.
35.
Yes.
You're still young. In relatively scale.
You have to be young guy to have the energy to run in the restaurant.
Yeah?
Because it will drain you, my friend. You
Fair
get the
story. My
white
business
hairs,
partner
you
told
know.
me this, and I'm like, yeah.
Yeah, so if you're old guy trying to get involved in the restaurant business, it's going to be very tough job.
So you guys, I feel like what Shelby's, of course, other than the food being good, because I know a lot of places that the food is really good, but they're just not marketed
It's
properly.
not just food, man. It's
there's-
food marketing,
there-
customer
there-
service.
Customer
So,
service.
I'll ask you guys this: if we have a pie, and this pie is 100%, and you have to divide the pie between good food, good customer service, and good marketing. Well, I guess what else? If we have 5 slices, what would be the 5 slices that would make another Shelby's?
I would say 3 slices marketing.
3 slices is
Yes.
marketing,
1 slice is food, and 1 slice is customer service.
customer service.
Yes, the operations is very important. If you can't run the
And
proper
how do you make? Okay,
operations.
so let's knock them out one by one. So number one, I guess the good food comes from. Now, okay, I'll be transparent with you. As there's this place. Hopefully, she doesn't watch this, but there's this place near my house, right? And I live close by, and I've tried her shawarma. I just don't have the heart to tell her, yo, this is not it. Like, this is not, and I see why she doesn't have a lot of people coming, because you can tell the shawarma is not. But because I was sit down with her, and she likes me as a guy, and I came and I helped them with couple stuff, and she wanted to invest at one point, and she believes that the food is really good. She believes that this is the authentic shawarma, and she does it the authentic way, but I guess the spices and the shawarma is just not. It just. I guess I don't know what it is, but it's not it, And
I find
I just don't know how to tell her. But so do you guys? Okay, because if it's my creation, like I give you an example. At my restaurant, we have the mansaf, right? And the mansaf, you have to have a specific jmeed with a specific lahma, and there's specific things that you have to be able to put. So I like it, but I'm since I'm in the sales industry, I would like to ask to see. What do you think? What do you think? What do you think? And I'm like, listen, I'm not your friend. Just give me honest answer. Like honest, 100%. He's like, okay, this 1, 2, 3. And you know who would give me the craziest feedback? My dad. My dad would like, listen, this is shit. This is bad. But this is good. I'm like, Dad, like it's not like to that extent, but it's good because I can take it to the kitchen. Hey guys, like 1, 2, 3. We should tweak.
Trust me, I struggle with my mom when I'm trying to commercialize a
So
shawarma.
that was my
Everything
question.
has to get approved by her.
So that's my point. So was she with the general approval?
Yes,
that's her position.
Exactly. And that's why the food is where it is right now. It's because it has to go through her.
Yeah. So that was my question. Did you guys make a lot of people taste it and then you tweaked it along the way?
Oh yeah.
The recipe hasn't been the same for 8 years. It's always been getting tweaked for the better.
Okay.
But
to this day?
No,
I don't think so.
Since 2 years, we're like, this is it.
We know it. Okay.
You know,
we know
we started expanding, we did a lot of testing, and people really liked it. And it's not only the taste; it's sometimes does it dry too quick? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Is it very heavy on the spicing? You know what I mean? How does it taste after delivery?
How do
after
we
2
reduce
hours?
the grease?
There's so much to
Packaging. When it's in the wax, it gets steamed and soggy. Now we need to create some sort of packaging so it stays nice and
crispy.
Interesting.
No.
So we tackled number 1. So there was an approval manager for everything. Number 2, we talked about good customer support.
So for us, again, not coming from this industry, we had to hire our weaknesses. We had to hire people who has been in this business to try to help us expand this brand and learn from them, and of course become one team, and basically blow up this thing.
Before that, we had to work ourselves on customer service.
100%.
And this was something that we worked very, very hard on. I would not let a customer leave the restaurant unless I seen a smile on his face or her face.
By pretty much giving them the order that they don't want.
Yes, and then I go to
want?
their table and I be like, my friend, how was the food today? They're like, it was amazing. I was like, great, my friend. Or if I see something was wrong, I'd be like, my friend, I noticed something is wrong. What can I do? He's like, my friend, you forgot the fries. I'm like, oh! So I bring him the fries. But I made sure everybody was happy. Word of mouth was very, very good for us because the people, they noticed like, okay, I go to shawarma shop. They're so rude. They don't care about me.
Yeah.
We wanted to overcome that stigma. Even though I am evil guy online, in store, I'm very, very nice guy. And I want to make sure you have the best experience.
So do you, so now both of your roles, so because are you the CEO of the company?
Yes.
And you
Director of
You're
marketing.
director of marketing. So are you right now at Shelby's working?
No.
So
not
your
anymore.
job, if so director of marketing, so you're handling all the marketing, and I guess in the beginning though, how was the dynamic? Like what?
So at the beginning, as I said, we met at school. Then he was looking for a job. He just came in as
But
to
no,
help
we
me. And then
after
3
that
years
part.
later,
The 3 years
3 years
after.
later, after he managed with me for so long, then I told him, hey, all I need to focus on is just
The marketing part,
right?
okay.
And then he started getting better at it while I was
So was
developing the
the
business.
customer support the first 3 years were, because I guess, do you guys still go to places and make sure customers are happy and stuff?
We are always in our
Now
restaurants.
we have technology, we have feedback forms,
So-
we have text messages. So we are able to see this from the cloud.
Exactly. Yeah. So take advantage of technology. Try to
of
be
course.
not everywhere and get the feedback.
We are innovation, my friend.
But just going back to his point is yes. So when we were at the restaurant, we used to give the best service, right? But then when we expanded to the 2 other locations, then that service was not as
of course,
good,
because
right?
you don't.
We're not
yeah.
there. So they're like, how can we create a system to make the service always good?
Okay.
And that's where we started, working on making the operation smoother. This way it gives more freedom for the staff to have more time to give better service. The store won't look as dirty, all that. So it all starts with the system. The system we've built, it's easier to basically deliver the service, deliver the cleanliness, deliver everything.
So what, did you guys create the system, or did you guys consult people for the system?
So
it was through trials and errors?
No, we had to hire, onboard some people who's been in this industry, and we work together on what we think the best approach for this brand based on the vision. And since then, we tweaked it probably 5 times.
Okay.
Because no matter what you do, you always have to keep improving.
Yeah,
you
of
know?
course, of course.
But it's looking at. I'll give you a story, for example. So when I onboarded my director of operations,
Okay.
he comes from a dining industry.
Okay.
And I was like, listen, man, what I hate about Shelby's right now is the culture is, after we start expanding, the culture is not as good. Like, yelling and not as clean after we start expanding. Like, how can we make it better? So he started telling me about his past career, and then we took some of the basically the strong areas, and we started implementing into Shelby's, and then the culture started to become better. The place become more friendly. Now we can hire non-Arabs.
Yeah.
'Cause at one point we're like, if a white guy will never work for Shelby's, right? Like, how can we make it where anybody can work here?
I see.
And that's where it started. And then from there, we're like, we want to make it like Subway. They come, they order, we talk to them, we smile. We give them the food, they pay, then we give them the food. Then COVID hit.
Oh, yeah.
Then when COVID hit, it changed the whole thing. Now there's no staff to talk.
Yeah.
Most of your staff these days, they have a lot of language barrier. Indians, Pakistanis,
yes.
Whatever.
Yeah.
And then we're like, no, we cannot do this anymore. Now we switch back to our old system, and we improve a little bit where we have now, like, it's all depends on technology, KDS, kiosks, all that, and it's helping the brand big time. Like, now we're saving more money on labor. Average ticket is higher. There's a lot of advantages.
I love that.
So my feedback is, don't be scared to keep improving.
Keep
it's
improving.
a headache. It is a big headache. Every time you go back to a franchise and you tell them, hey, we're gonna have to do this, the first thing is gonna be, oh, again.
It's gonna...
But a year later, it's paying off.
Yeah, of course.
You can never be happy. You always have to be critical on yourself.
And do you guys feel like so technology, do you guys have not a rival, but do you guys have somebody that you guys are looking and like, oh damn, like that's something Shelby's want?
Our idol comes
Chipotle.
to Chipotle,
really?
and McDonald's. Those are the big guys we look at.
Wow.
Yes.
On how they run a multinational
The
corporation.
yes, of course.
And even right now, we're the first drive-through shawarma place in Canada. So we just opened.
I didn't even know you guys.
Yeah. So we
Drive-through.
opened 2 years ago to test it, and right now we're opening another location in Windsor that's drive-through, and we're looking at another couple because that's where the industry is going, right?
Yeah.
After COVID, a lot of things changed.
Yeah.
And people are.
That's a very smart idea.
So yeah. Again, McDonald's, that's what we were looking
We were also very heavily involved in online ordering. We had our own website from the beginning. So when COVID happened, we didn't really take that much of a hit. All our customers, we have the database, the emails, the phone numbers, everything. So
That's
people
smart.
just order online.
You guys were prepared for...
Yes. We were ahead of the game, and COVID, unfortunately, like, it cleaned up some of the people in the industry, right?
Yes.
And it was good to, it was at the end, it was good for us, but... again, in 10 years, there's going to be something else that we will have to make sure that
you have the contact with everybody.
In this business, you have to know how to act quick. Be a quick problem solver.
So COVID hit. What was the first thing you guys did?
Oh my God! The first thing I laid off like three of the guys in the head office.
Yeah.
We're like, sorry guys, I don't know what the heck is gonna happen. I went back to BNDS to cut shawarma. We don't know if there's gonna be enough customers coming in. Right?
Yeah.
At that point, we only had 3 locations.
Okay.
I had partners in the other ones so they could run it, but the original one, it was just a general manager. We just fired the general manager, not fired, we laid him off, and then me and Yas were like, hey, listen, we're back here full time. And then it's like, no, I want to keep managing social media. It's been like 2 years, he hasn't even rolled a shawarma. And then we started, and then it was busier than before.
Yeah.
It was like, I think it went up like 25-30%.
Yes,
a lot of Uber, a lot of Skip, a lot of DoorDash. I'm like, guys, come back. And then at that time, the government was giving money, right? So it was harder to get them back. They're like, oh, I want cash. We're like, no, we can't do that.
Yeah.
There was a lot of struggles at that time trying to get those employees back. But we pulled it off. It was scary at the beginning, but the first wave was good. Second wave was kind of not good. Third wave was bad. Like, people were really scared at that point.
Yes.
Inflation was starting to get high, food costs, all that. But I would say in the past 6 months, it's been stable. Like 2 weeks ago when they announced the interest rate, it's not going up. We've seen everything is going up again now. So I know there's probably going to be another correction period.
I feel like, because when COVID hit, I just booked a flight ticket and I went back home.
I hear they're so strict.
Yeah. I wasn't even entertaining the idea. I went to Egypt, I stayed for 3 months, and then Jordan 2 months, and then Dubai another 3 months. And I just stayed like pretty much almost the whole year there. I just couldn't, my head is not able to operate, and especially when they close the gyms and stuff. I have to be able to go to the gym every single day. And that really messed up with me. So this is why I had to I'm like, family, I'm sorry, and I'll see you guys soon. But I love where a lot of companies. I'll give you an example in our industry. When you're talking about investments and stuff, people think of banks and people think of this big corporation and Goldman Sachs, and you go to the bank and talk to financial advisor, and we're a little bit like you guys saw me, Armin, younger guys is different. We have almost $500 million under management. It's huge money, right? And when people are talking, and we're not in suits, so we're coming out with shirts and stuff like, what's up, hey bro, like, so people, we as soon as COVID hit, Goldman Sachs didn't do social media. All these banks, they didn't figure out a way to do social media, but we could. Right, so as soon as COVID hit, we doubled down on social media. We doubled down on meeting people. We took to a point where, because I noticed a lot of the banks now, nobody goes in and stuff. With us, no, we're not a bank. When people don't give us money to invest, we kind of tell them what to do. But what we did is we kind of took a +1, where I'll fly to you if me and you want to talk. If you're okay with sitting down, especially when it was like real COVID times. People were a little bit, Arabs didn't care, but like other people, cared a little bit. But that's kind of what. But I love that you guys kind of took a tweak. So we talked about the big pie. We talked about the first part and the second part. Now you said 3 for marketing.
Okay, why I think 3 for marketing? Yeah. Okay, number 1. I think the old fashion of marketing is done, like flyers.
I 1,000% agree.
Even radio is not as
when's the last time you opened the radio?
Exactly. On Shopify or on my phone.
Pretty much.
So we're like, right now it's our time to shine out. We need to take advantage of the social media accounts to get our name out there, and there's so much we can do. So we started, focusing on how can we create a character? How can we be different?
I think if I'm transparently speaking, I think this is what made Shelby's different than all the other places that I've seen, because each corporation is there. I'll give you an example, right? And I was talking about this on the podcast 2 podcasts ago, and I was talking about each of the big names right now. They are all they have a face. So I did this test, right? And there's a lady sitting, and I'm like, do you know Prime? She's like, yeah. I'm like, how do you know Prime? She's like, oh, my son talked about it. I'm like, go ask your son what they know what the Prime. Do you guys know the Prime drink?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You guys know the Prime drink? I'm like, go ask your son why he knows Prime, right? And who's behind Prime? And right away he said, the kid. This is in front of my eyes, right? He said, Logan and KSI, right? Logan Paul and KSI. And this is when I told her, I'm like, everything, big corporations right now are based on faces, right? They want to relate to somebody. They want to be, nobody can relate. When we say Amazon, the first name that pops up, Jeff Bezos. When we say Apple, the first name that pops up, Steve Jobs. Although Steve Jobs passed away over a decade ago. But we still, do you guys know who the CEO of Apple right now is?
Tim Cook.
Tim Cook. And trust me, for every 10 people you ask, maybe 2 people know.
Wow.
Although Tim Cook has been running Apple for over a decade now, which is crazy, right? But just to tell you that Apple was created through a story, right?
Yes.
When you talk about not only Steve Jobs and Steve Wozniak, of course. And this is what I think Shelby's figured out a way to have like a face, and this is what I like. So you shared a story before we ran about how the marketing game came and how the do you want to go through that? Sure. Do you guys want to go through kind of how the marketing started with Shelby's?
So
yeah, you can go ahead. Yes.
So we've been making content since day one.
Yeah.
Before I used to make videos like, hi everybody, look, it was about education.
Yeah.
How can I teach these people what shawarma is? Because nobody knows what is shawarma.
Yeah.
Burrito is big in the game, burger, pizza, everybody knows those things. but they don't know shawarma. So we would make these videos. Sometimes we'd make the shawarma on the rice, sometimes in the wrap. Then we made the shawarma poutine.
Yeah.
And shawarma on top of fries with all these sauces and the garlic sauce and the stuff. And the people, they just loved it. And the videos would go viral.
Yeah.
After that, everybody makes the same kind of videos. And it's a little, it's annoying now. We have to think of something new.
Yeah.
So I used to make the videos myself. I'm not video editor. I just guy who makes shawarma, So we hired our video production specialist, Mr. Sultan Nabhani.
Yeah.
Shout out to Nabhani Films. And I told him, look, I don't want to pay influencers anymore. These guys, they waste my money and I don't get anything. They use engagement groups or fake likes and stuff like that and just waste the money. So I said, make me into the influencer. And then we work together. We work with some other guys.
You guys have worked with a lot of influencers. Like I know a lot of my friends. Like I have a lot of friends influencers in Toronto and London. I think you guys worked with all of them.
Yeah, we worked with a lot of them. But, I like to just trade food. If you message me, say, hey, I want to promote your business. I say, I will trade you some food for the post.
Some shawarma.
Yes, exactly. But now we're at the point where people want to collaborate with us.
Yes, of course.
So we're
because you guys are a very big brand, so it would make
Yes.
sense for them to collaborate.
So now that we created this Shawarma Man character and we're going viral and we've built the TikTok and the YouTube and the Facebook and the Instagram. So we have now media company.
Yes.
So
absolutely.
we can reach out to many, many people, influencers, content creators, and say, hey, would you like to collaborate with us? And more than usual, they want to collaborate.
We should do. I don't know how this would. They have to kind of create a crypto shawarma.
We thought
We
about
want to-
Yeah, we should.
When NFT,
Yeah,
make
NFT.
NFT.
Oh,
Everybody
yeah,
wants NFT. So what happened to NFT?
I think NFT will have a comeback, just not right now.
Okay.
In a different form, definitely NFT will have a comeback. But that I think that's funny. I would love to make a video for you guys talking about crypto. I don't know how, but with shawarma and crypto would come
Whatever.
together. I'm trading, but I'm eating the shawarma. But that's
Yeah.
cool. So what was. So if the first step was you guys found somebody, because we were talking about the guy that was shooting the filming, the guy
Yes.
that was.
Yes.
So you guys found that. So that was step one.
Yes.
Right, because you guys didn't
But
know.
we still had to find what it is we wanted to do because we
Okay.
were still making food videos, but more professional.
Yeah.
But
Tell them
now
about James, how we hired the first guy.
this guy, he's just like seen some guy who speaks in British accent, and he's like, "Yo, you need to use him." I'm like, I don't know what to do with him. So we use him. A few videos we made. The Shelby's Academy.
Okay.
It wasn't getting a lot of, engaging.
Yeah.
But then we got rid of that guy, and then they started just focusing on funny scripts, like short clips, because
Yeah.
that was trending, the shorts. The YouTube,
Okay, yeah,
the
yeah.
shorts started,
Yeah.
like the TikTok stuff.
Yeah.
And then they just started coming like, I remember the first video that went viral.
He's with
It's like
kimchi.
falafel kimchi. Like,
Yeah, I
went
know falafel kimchi, yeah.
And then because falafel kimchi, he started his own career. He wants to develop his own page.
Yeah.
And then we were just learning off him at
Yeah.
that time. So that was one of the videos we made. It went viral. And then 6 months later, Yasser just kept learning. And I remember 6 months later, we did one video where we pretend the customer he didn't want garlic on his sauce, and he just faked a slap, and that went viral. And then from that point, it gave us a hint that we need to play with the culture. We need
Yeah,
to play,
yeah.
we don't and we don't slap in our culture. Our
Yeah, of
customers,
course,
But I mean,
yeah.
you can't say no garlic to shawarma.
Yeah, of
you
course,
can't put
of course.
ketchup, no mustard.
They don't even ask you back home what you need on the shawarma.
It's
They
always
just
like
make
that.
it. Yeah, they just make it.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They don't
But
know, what
here's
would you
different.
like on this? It's like, okay, so one shawarma. Okay, good, got it.
No
Yeah.
customization.
No,
I have allergies. I don't care.
You know what? I remember 5 years ago when we started, there was just this Arabi customer.
Yeah.
I was actually playing soccer with him yesterday. I reminded the story. This guy used to always say, I want ketchup on shawarma. Remember that guy had? I'm like, what the heck you're doing? And then 3 years later, now we're playing on that joke that you can't put shawarma.
That's very smart, which is true. You can't really put ketchup on shawarma.
And right now, we wanted to make the vibe a little
Yeah.
more fun. We wanted Shelby's to be fun.
Of
It's
course.
it's not just business.
Yeah,
I want you
yeah.
to come to Shelby's. While you're waiting for food, you're enjoying the culture. You're enjoying the funny things we have. So one of the things we have is we have a waiver. Actually, you have to sign on the receipt that says, it takes it very serious.
It's a liability waiver.
It makes it look like you're gonna die if you eat ketchup. And it's a catch for people. And then like we see a lot of people like smiling when they're
I love that
when they're eating it. So yeah,
you have to find very popular, relatable things.
Yeah.
Like we have the Pepsi, we have the no ketchup, we have the ship.
the ship.
We have like many things. If it's not tight, it's not right. Don't do
tight, it's
that.
not right,
The best in the West. So little slogans, little things, just so you can remember us. Whenever you hear this.
I would say, a good amount of times it's winging it, and then going back
and then
connecting
figuring
the
out
dots.
connecting the dots. Yeah.
A lot of it.
So I think a big lesson from that would be you don't have to kind of have the whole plan to start.
No.
You start and then you kind of
exactly
tweak
just keep improving.
Things.
Look at your analytics. Look what did well. Like
Yeah.
when we look at analytics, for example, we see there isn't a lot of women following us. Why? And we're like, okay, we need to start creating content that can reach women.
Yeah,
people
can
like,
reach women
women
for
like. And I don't know how is it doing right now, but
we also how to reach different cultures. So sometimes I have like the
I've seen
universal customer.
You've done some Punjabi people.
Yes,
I've noticed
it's so
that.
famous
I'm
in India.
yeah.
Like we're trending right now.
India, Italian, French.
I see.
Shout out to the Belgians.
For the
now
Belgians,
we have a big Belgian following. So it's like these little things you just
So
do.
is this true? Fries is from Belgium?
Fresh fries.
Yeah.
Invented by the French Belgians.
French Belgians, okay.
So they call it French fries, but we like to say it's fresh fries. Shout out to the Belgians.
I like
And they respect us for that.
I'm glad.
We were just in Lebanon. Not me. He was just in Lebanon for a charity event. And
Yeah.
we raised like $50,000 for
That's
these
awesome.
guys, and it made it look like we are more famous back home than here from the power of social media.
Yeah.
Power of social
I
media is
agree.
unreal. Like he was stalked by the French in France.
In France, the French customs officer. He's like, Abbas, you bring the Pepsi? I was like, oh, no way. He's like, come on through, man. I was like, oh, my God. I didn't have to get checked or anything, man.
And then like those
Crazy.
Muslim
And there's,
scholars
like,
or something.
Muslim clerics. In Lebanon, they wear the
Yeah,
turban
yeah,
and
yeah,
stuff. So it's like 8 of them. And they're like, did you bring the Pepsi? I was like, oh, my God. So I get noticed around the world.
I love that. It's okay. I'll ask you guys a question. You don't have to answer this, but let's just say somebody is starting up right now, right? You said food, customer support, and then marketing. How much money do they have to spend on marketing? Or is it not the spending part? Maybe is it the tryout part? Like how many content? Well, since you're the director of marketing, how much content do you do? Or is it a daily content? Do you shoot one time and you post? How many times do you post a day? Like these little things.
I try to film once or twice a week.
A week, okay.
And we try to get content every single day, whether it's comedy or it's just food, branding, video, but something's got to be posted.
Okay.
Because if you don't post, maybe 10 people might not show up, maybe 100 people might not show up. So it's currency when you post. It's very important to use all the social medias.
So you guys are posting it everywhere, TikTok,
everywhere.
Instagram.
But now all the platforms are craving TikTok. So now we can just post TikTok on Facebook Reels, Instagram Reels, YouTube Shorts, Twitter, and on TikTok.
So your biggest followings would come from TikTok.
Yes.
At the moment, yes.
At the moment,
And then
we are
second,
trending.
YouTube.
We're trending on YouTube.
On
right
YouTube,
now.
YouTube Shorts is doing.
it's-
We kind of blew up on. That's our first. We blew up on TikTok first for the podcast, and then the second blow up was YouTube Shorts.
YouTube Shorts.
Yeah,
it's big there, and a lot of people.
The algorithm
money
is
too,
the
right?
second biggest search engine in the world.
Yeah, we had 500 million views last month.
Wow, on all over.
No,
just
YouTube.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's trending like crazy.
TikTok every single month about 30 to 50 million. Consistently the last 3 years.
Wow.
And it's just growing. So you have to just be consistent.
Yeah.
Keep posting, keep doing that. Also, we don't promote food much. We just do the comedy skits and the people, they just automatically know, oh, this is a restaurant.
A restaurant, of course.
So in the beginning, I wanted to know what excuse do I have to show up on your Instagram feed? You know, oh, there is a deal. Who cares about the deal? Nobody cares about the deal.
It's true.
Nobody cares about your food. Nobody cares about anything you post. So what excuse do you have to post and to be in his face and on his feed? That's his real estate. People don't watch the TV anymore.
Absolutely.
They watch Instagram, TikTok, well, all
Yeah.
that stuff. So what excuse do I have? So we had to come up with a nice, unique way to promote the business and be on your feed. And you know, alhamdulillah, we found the spot. This is the comedy, and now we have excuse to be like, we have promotion. You know?
Yeah. So, do you guys ever like I asked you guys what the end goals, and you guys said McDonald's and Chipotle.
World domination.
World domination. And like, do you feel like with social media, how can I get my question? Do you think there's gonna be ever like another TikTok that you guys will be switching into, or
We don't know.
You know what?
You just have to
I
act
believe
quick.
something's gonna happen
Yeah.
in the next 5 years where eventually.
because you know
it's gonna-
Trump owns a social media platform?
Trump.
Yeah, Trump.
I thought
Donald
so.
Trump. It's called Truth Social.
Oh
it's
yeah,
only,
yeah,
it's only available.
He just opened
it's,
for
it's
himself
only
to, you know, to.
yeah, but no, it's people in the States can download it and they
Really?
can participate. It's only in the USA.
Okay.
Yeah, for now. I don't know why he made it only in the USA, but it's only available in USA. I have a lot of because I have a lot of customers in the States. A lot of them are utilizing. It's like a mix of Facebook, Twitter.
You know,
Like, that's like
the problem
the
with
vibe.
the social media accounts right now. It's going more towards political.
Yeah, politics.
So now,
of course,
who has more data?
yeah.
Who has the data has control.
Yeah,
so right
yeah.
now, for example, I think they shut down TikTok for a while
Yeah, yeah,
somewhere.
yeah. In Jordan.
In Jordan,
In
yeah,
Jordan,
I was
yeah.
True.
Yeah.
Yeah, in Jordan I was there. So I think something's gonna happen.
Yes, I agree.
Right, and right now with the Bill 11 that they're passing in Canada, where they can control.
I
content.
heard that.
So
Yeah.
so things are
Yeah,
gonna
yeah.
change. We don't know where it's going, but I think there's more platforms that
You gotta adapt.
You just have to adapt and
Yes.
get on it quickly. Whatever comes up, just hop on it, learn it, research it. You watch 200 videos, 200 hours, and just
But one thing I want to touch on is it's very important to post, but if the content is not good, it doesn't matter if you post it
I
or
do
not.
agree.
So you have to invest a lot in your content.
In your
It
content,
has to
yeah.
be original. It has to be not fake.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
It has to come out like from your heart.
Yeah.
And that's what we see a lot of other people. They try to fake it and it never goes anywhere.
Yeah, of course.
perception is number one thing. Whenever we're going to post a video, we have to be very critical. We'd be like, how will the people see this?
Yes.
You know? We don't want to come off in any negative way.
Yeah.
You know? Even though some of our videos are negative. but-
that was my
A lot of negative ones.
but
like, this
but
guy's
it's like
catch up.
if it's appeasing to consume, it's
Yeah.
not tacky or it's not cringy or
Yeah, yeah,
anything,
yeah.
then take it. It's good to post, even though it might not get the views. If the perception is good, then keep it.
So do you guys feel like it would be a good business for somebody, let's just say, starting out? Do you guys think a good business would be restaurant business?
You know what? Restaurant business, the nice thing
'Cause it's
about
tricky,
it,
man.
It's tricky, but if you do it right, you can scale it very quick.
What's the do you guys know the percentage of businesses of restaurants that go out of business in the first 2 years?
Very high.
Yeah,
I can't tell you the
I'm-
percentage,
I'm-
but
I'm-
it's always
I'm
the
guessing
word
it's
out
like
there.
over
the highest-
60,
it's the
over
highest.
60, 70.
Yeah,
I would
heard
say
it was
Probably more,
80,
like
90.
80, 90.
I would say more.
Wow.
Right now, what we're seeing is after COVID, a lot of those old-fashioned restaurants, they're shutting down.
I mean,
Yeah. Unfortunately, we seen that little trend, the ghost kitchen. Those are not even doing well anymore.
the ghost kitchen, as in
like you get 10 brands in in one kitchen.
Oh no! I've seen this on Uber Eats one time. Yeah. That
so
wasn't.
during COVID. It was trending. Like there was a lot of company. Like there's one in Dubai. It's called Cloud Kitchen.
Okay,
That-
I've heard of Cloud Kitchen. Yeah, I've heard of
Holy,
it,
these
yeah.
guys have like 60, 70 brands
Wow.
operating out of one building, okay? So during COVID, they marketed that concept and then they made a lot of money from it. Like
Yeah.
they were just
But I don't think
them.
it's no longer
It's
like
not, it's not as popular.
Yeah.
Right? We're seeing right now in the past 6 months, a lot of people want to dine in. They're just tired of that 3 years we had, no dining.
They
no
want to just go
socializing,
out. They would
nothing.
rather.
So it was just a money grab for at some point for certain
For a certain amount of
industries.
time.
Yes.
I'll tell you also why a lot of businesses don't survive. in the beginning, everybody, when you start a business, you have to keep making reinvestments. You're not
Yeah.
coming with your $500,000 or 300,000 and making investments. So they see the money coming in and then they go on vacation and, he leaves it to the staff or he buys new car or he does this.
Yeah.
But then when times are tough, he has no money to do anything.
So how long did it take you?
We're not driving Lamborghinis yet. Every single penny, we are
Just
all
reinvested.
underpaid and overvalued, So, but we're all working towards the same goal.
I see.
And everything has to be reinvested. Remember in the beginning? Oh, we need TVs this month. Oh, we need new grill. Okay, we need new fridge. The compressor broke.
So if I'm asking, how much money did it take in the beginning to kind of get Shelby's running?
So when we started this concept, we invested $25,000 in that food trailer.
Okay.
And then when I went to the brick and mortar, luckily I found a shutdown restaurant that had equipment. At that point,
You
I
just wrote
didn't
down.
have more money to
Yeah.
invest because I invested all my money in the food trailer.
Yeah.
So I just worked with whatever equipment was there.
Ah.
So I didn't even have a shawarma tower at that point. I was just doing it on the grill.
Yes.
Wow.
People
Yeah,
are like,
and then-
that's fake shawarma. We're like, I think we need sikh.
So yeah, 2 months later, we're like, okay, we have a little
But we
money,
had
let's
to
go
prove
invest
the
it.
concept
Yeah,
before
yeah,
we
yeah.
made the
Yeah,
investment.
investment.
We
And then we
didn't
made
get
money.
branded stuff right away.
Yeah.
Huh.
And then we made more money. We went invested in a food truck. So it was always reinvesting.
Always reinvesting.
And at this, and until now, we reinvest. We haven't seen that big check yet.
Yeah.
It takes typically for a franchise model, it takes about 10 years before you see the return on investment. Because with the franchising business, you're throwing a lot of money to learn how to basically how the franchise model works. Because you're not just dealing with you're not just dealing with a friend who's you're dealing with random
people, of
that
course.
wants to invest on you.
Yeah.
Right. And you have to have a good lawyer, you have to have a good accountant.
Of
and
course,
you
they have to
a good
keep track of it. So, question for you guys is maybe for some people, maybe they don't know how franchises work. How does a franchise work? So, let's just say I want to franchise a Shelby's. I come to you, you give me a price, I guess an initial price for...
Correct. We give you a turnkey price.
Yeah.
And then you
And
pay
then-
7% royalties every month on your
every
gross
month.
sales.
Gross sales.
Yes.
Not profits.
No,
Gross sales, okay.
That's the whole concept of
Of
franchising.
franchise, okay.
I'm giving you a concept. I'm giving you what you need to do.
And I'm giving
It's
you the
all up-
brand.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's all up to you to follow the rules. If you don't follow the rules, then you're not going to make as much money. Because we know other people are following the rules are making money, right? But why should
So
it
is
come
there a
from our
Shelby's
pocket?
that have gone outside the rules and you guys had to go control it a little bit?
Of course.
Yeah.
It's part of the franchising
Yeah,
world.
yeah.
You're always gonna have people suing you. You're always gonna have you're gonna be terminating franchise. It's all up there.
Wow.
Yeah. And we're only 12 locations.
Yeah, yeah.
Imagine we're 100 locations. You're gonna be dealing with you always have 10 stores where they're giving you headache all the time.
Wow.
All the time. But you just have to have the right support team
course.
to tackle it so it doesn't affect your name. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Do you
yeah.
want to raise or should we hire a new operation guy? Do we need a new corporate trainer?
Yeah. I mean,
So that's how you
love
have to
that.
think about it.
I love that. So do you guys think so for a franchise? Do you guys think it would be if somebody graduated, he has the money that you guys are asking? Do you guys require any I
Yeah,
guess,
so-
experience? Because I know
course.
what's the franchise rules for McDonald's? I think you have to have
McDonald's
some
a total
PhDs and
No,
some,
McDonald's a total different ballgame. McDonald's, you need to go for 6 months for their school.
McDonald's
That's the first thing.
University.
You
They have
have
a
to
school.
go 6 months
Oh, I
for
didn't
their
even know
school.
that.
That's all you
Wow.
have to do, right? And then it's not the franchise owner who's getting trained alone. He has to get 2 or 3 managers.
Yeah.
So you know what I mean, to get trained at McDonald's headquarters.
Wow.
It's again,
Yeah,
they are
of
controlling
course.
the world.
Of course.
You know what I mean?
McDonald's.
They know what they're doing.
Yeah, yeah.
Hopefully one day we will have that school. We'll have 6
Absolutely.
months worth
Yeah.
of training. But you've probably seen
6 months worth of how to yell at a bus.
Yeah. You've probably seen the movie The Founder, right?
Yeah, The
These
Founder, I
guys
saw the
like
movie,
one
yeah.
lettuce, one.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
all about systems.
Systems,
You
yeah.
have to build it where
I
it's
love
all
that
about
movie,
the
by the
system,
way.
not the people.
Yeah,
You know what
yeah.
I mean? It's the systems. Man.
Love
You're
that.
just gonna
Wow.
keep investing in that.
I like that. Do you guys have any words of encouragement to anybody that wants to get into the restaurant business?
I would say if you want to get into the restaurant business, the first thing you want to think about is at least you're going to think about 3 to 5 years return on investment. If you're ready for that, then go ahead.
3 to 5 years.
Number 2 is it's time consuming. Get ready to put 10 to 15 hours a
Every
day
day.
for the first year. Third thing is 80% risk. Okay? A lot of people close within the first 2 years.
Yeah.
Okay. Fourth thing I would say is labor force. There's a lack of
The labor force
is really
probably
bad in here.
is the hardest part.
Exactly, because how can you make money without soldiers? Like these guys are, fighting for you so you can make money. But if you don't have anybody to fight for you, you can't do it by yourself.
Yeah.
Right? Because if he's working, then he's not seeing what's happening in his restaurant. Then all that's gonna happen is just gonna keep going down, down, down. The only time I remember we started improving is when I went outside the box and started looking inside the box on the things I need to improve. And that's when we seen it. We're like, oh, okay, look at how it's improving, right? So that's another tip I would give is labor force is challenging. So if you are gonna open a restaurant, make sure it's like a family.
Yeah.
So that at least like it's somebody that you can rely on.
Yeah,
for example. And number 5, invest a lot in social media. And it's not about focus on like taste is really important, but it's not everything. It's not everything, And unfortunately, a lot of people who comes into this business. They've been chefs back home or something, and they think people mentality here is same as back home.
Yeah,
they
which
think
is not.
that people care a lot about the flavor. They know what the true flavor is, but people don't
Here,
care
don't know
here.
that.
They don't know. They care, but they don't
Yeah.
know. Really, I can tell you that when Syrian refugees came, they really raised the bar with the food.
Yeah, of
industry.
course. Yeah.
Like I remember there was no good shawarma at that time, right? And we were the first people to introduce Saj bread. People were like, what the heck is this Saj bread? It's so good. People would just use it to pita, right?
Yeah.
And then, now you go in Masaga anywhere and every corner
all
there's a good
Saj,
shawarma. You will. It's not like you can't find a really bad shawarma anymore. Where 5 years ago, a lot of really bad shawarmas were out there.
They're extremely.
Right, so the industry is changing and it's becoming more challenging. And if somebody's trying to get into this industry, food is important, but focus more on your marketing, on your operations,
Your
and
cleanliness.
basically your support, your cleanliness.
Absolutely.
And these days, Google reviews is the easiest thing that a customer can rip you on.
It's true.
And it can affect your business a lot.
Yeah,
For me, trust me, I'm on Google review every day reading my reviews, and then I'm reaching out to my operations team. Look what happened here, look what happened here. I shouldn't be doing this, but it's because I know how important it is.
Yeah.
So make sure you invest a lot in your Google. Google's everything.
Yeah.
People, that's your image.
Biggest thing. Yeah.
That's
If
your
somebody
image.
leaves you a bad review, please invite him back and
Yes.
make him change that review.
Yes.
That's interesting. Google. And so you guys said inshallah this year you guys will have 8 more. So you guys are planning here in Toronto? 8
Yes,
or
we have
all over?
we have 3 in downtown Toronto.
Okay.
We got like 4 or 5 just
All over.
Windsor. We got Niagara Falls. We got St. Catharines.
And these are all franchisees.
All franchisees. Yeah,
That's awesome.
Yeah, so
Wow.
it's gonna be a busy year for us, and
Yeah.
we have big plans later on to expand to other countries.
So
we have
outside.
a lot of interest.
The
It's
States
just-
would be big for you guys.
States will. We have the second hugest fans we have is in States.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We've got
400 million people there.
Oh yeah.
hundreds of franchise applications from them.
Wow.
And you know what? Every time in a restaurant, every time I'm in one of our restaurants, there's always somebody from States. Always. From New York, New Jersey, you name it. Anybody. So
Wow.
it's power of social
I love
media,
that.
man.
Well, my friends, thank you so much for blessing us today. I love this convo.
Thank you so
We're
much
gonna
for
put
having
their information in the description,
Thank you.
and we're gonna tag both of you guys because I love this convo, and thank you guys for the shawarma today. My friends, my family, for everybody that's watching this, thank you guys so much, and make sure you like, subscribe, and share. If you guys are in the restaurant industry, this is an episode that they need to watch. Again, appreciate you guys, and you guys will talk soon. Peace.
Thank you.
Thank you.